TBISE, the best in sports entertainment, here live in partnership with USA. TNS Media Group is the team and the family. So we winding down. So last topic, G, I want to speak about is, Devin Haney ring return came off of it was a loss that was changed to a no contest versus Ryan Garcia. Took a lot of punishment in that fight, hit the canvas maybe 3-4 times, I believe, in that fight.
Right.
Returning possibly, I believe, in March or so of this year. There's been speculations of him possibly fighting Adrian Broner. They also threw in our Philly zone. Tevin Farmer's possibly going to get the nod. We don't know yet. But Devin returning to this fight, returning to the fight in March.
Yeah.
Too soon or?
Nah, I'm thinking it's been time. You know what I mean? The reason I'm saying that is because I know they had a lot of legal things to go through. And I mean, that's kind of what held it up. But whenever a guy lose, man, I think the best thing you should do is, take a little time off and get yourself together, but come right back. Don't wait so long, you know what I mean? And I think he's been training. Because he seems to be in good shape right now. But I don't like the long layoffs. I really personally myself don't like the long layoffs, but I know they had to handle some legal things and they was trying to see, what they could do, and they recently just dropped the case against Ryan Garcia. So I think they just looking to move forward and get past everything. So.
Yeah, so, like you said, Tevin Farmer is possibly an opponent. How would a fight like that look with Dev and Tevin possibly fighting?
That would be a tough fight, you know what I mean? Because Tevin Farmer is and always has been crafty, you know what I mean? And then coming from the southpaw stance, he's going to touch you. He's going to touch you. Not just because he's southpaw, but because of the hand speed, his awkwardness. You know what I mean? He could throw a short shot. He could throw a big shot. It don't matter. And Tev just going to be tough for anybody. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that would be crazy.
I thought he won his last fight. I watched the fight twice. I thought Tev really won that fight. I'm not just saying that because he's from Philly, but I watched that fight twice, and I thought that he actually, did enough to win that fight.
Right.
Now, Adrian Broner, there's been speculation of him versus Adrian Broner. I don't think Adrian Broner can make the weight of 140 pounds anymore. So I kind of don't see that fight happening. And Broner hasn't been himself as of late. But if that fight was to happen, that would be more so good for TV. Broner brings a edge, and then him and Dev have a history because, Broner was saying that Tank hurt Dev in sparring, and so Tank hurt Dev in sparring, and so forth and so on. And then there was a lot of speculation around that time. What does that fight look like with Broner? Because Broner's dangerous. You know what I mean?
I was getting ready to say, Broner,
fight.
People try to sleep on Broner. Broner's never been stopped. You know what I mean? They try to mock him about his losses or whatever, but he's never been stopped. So therefore, you're going the distance. You know it's going to be a fight. Also, Broner has times in fights where, he may not be looking himself. He may not look the best, but he can be dangerous, especially on the inside. He throw a hell of an uppercut and a hell of a left hook, So, me, honestly, I think that's a perfect fight for him because, he's not his best self, but he's still a great competitor, and you're going to learn. You're going to learn things about yourself when you fight a guy like Adrian Broner. Yeah. So I think a fight like that, he'll grow from for sure.
Yeah, and outside of those two fights, if we don't get Tevin, we don't get Broner, who would you think is a good opponent at 140 pounds as a returning fight for Devin Haney?
There's a fighter from Chicago named Kenneth Sims. Kenneth Sims is overlooked a lot in the sport. I even heard that T.O. turned him down a couple times. You know what I mean? They called and tried to make that match. So I think Kenneth Sims would be probably a perfect matchup for him.
Yeah, but I would stay away from like Sabril and them guys.
Well, the big punchers, because you don't want to get caught up in, a storm. You know what I mean? Just like the last fight, you got kind of caught up trying to prove that you could take a shot and prove that you could sit in the inside when that's not really your game. Devin Haney is one hell of a boxer, and he's at his best when he's boxing.
Yeah, so you want to be careful when, not saying he can't beat those guys, but it's a comeback fight right now that magnitude after taking that punishment.
Right.
You get hit, right, and it might make you start thinking like what happened about the last fight. Is that something that happens with fighters after they've been knocked down, and they might feel some power, and they might be like, hold up, start thinking about getting knocked out or getting dropped because the last outing they had.
Some fighters are different. Some people take it like you said. They get knocked down and they start thinking less of themselves. Some fighters get motivated by being knocked down. You knock them down, they want to kill you now. You know what I mean? If you remember Aaron Pryor, he was one of them guys. You knock him down, he gonna turn up.
Exactly.
He didn't even like to be counted. He didn't even like to take the 8 count. He wanted to get right to you. You know what I mean? They used to have to break him up and give him his 8 count.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you got guys like that, and that's the type of fighters I love. You know what I mean? That come back from shit like that. So
why do people put so much emphasis about, you know, a loss or a knockdown? I knocked you down. When that's a part of boxing. Losing,
yeah.
I mean, I know nobody wants to lose. Everybody wants to win. But losing and being knocked down is not only a part of boxing, but it's a part of life. You're going to lose in life. You're going to get knocked down in life.
Yeah.
So it's about just how you come back, how you return.
Yeah, I think people just try to pick and find things to pick at. You know what I mean? Oh, you got knocked down. So what? I tripped when I came out the house too. So what? Your day still carries out. You know what I mean? So I think people just focus on sometimes the small things just to make a point, just to sound smart. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, listen, it's boxing. It's going to happen. Just like in basketball, you can get dunked on. Mm-hmm. Just like in football, a quarterback can throw an interception, and it happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the best fighters get better after they get knocked down.
And so what do you expect from Devin? The layoff, what do you expect from Devin coming back? Like, do you expect him to be himself? Do you expect him to be more, just kind of more cautious? What do you expect from him?
A lot of people think I'm crazy, sometimes for the things I say. I think Devin Haney is going to be a better fighter. I think he's going to be a better fighter because sometimes that type of experience is what you need. You know what I mean? This sounds crazy. Somebody would say, well, why would you take a beating like that? Why would you want to get hit like this? It's not that you want to, but sometimes in order for you to elevate, you have to go through things in life. Just like you said earlier, it's life. So a fight like that, he needed to learn the lesson. Whatever that lesson was that he needed, he got it, and guess what? I think he comes back a better fighter. Yeah,
because he got a great team around him. He got, his father, of course, who's been in his corner. And it seemed like people were rallying behind him, not because of the speculation with Ryan Garcia, but also the loss. They sort of totally took on him because you see his face and we never seen Dev in that state before.
Right.
So to see him in that state, people were actually rallying behind him. Right. And it showed he had a crazy support group. His father went to bat for him. His father was like, doing whatever, saying whatever he had to say to defend his son. So I expect Dev to get back on his high horse. He still got his title, I believe. So he's right there in the mix. He has the opportunity to go after more titles. So I wish Dev the best in his return.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens. It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. Hello. You need home care services for yourself or a loved one, but you don't know where to begin. If you don't want to wait in a long line to the welfare office, or hire someone to do the work for you, or you're just tired of the runaround, please allow Mecha Care to help you. Call now, 215-644-8341. 215-644-8341.